Does it look familiar to you? Hey, Steve is here, and today I'll show you a way to make real-time debug a little bit easier. There are a lot of cases when you may want to keep track of variables in real time or manually trigger some code actions. We will create a universal UI which allows to display logs, notifications, variables value, and add buttons to trigger your code. As a base, I have a demo project with couple characters. You can find a link to the project in the description, but you're good to go with your own project or another template. Let's start by creating a directory for our code and resources. We will place all the code in commonly used directory add-ons. As a result, you will be able to share this code between your projects. Then create a UI scene and save it to the file. We need to add a shortcut to toggle the UI on and off. I will use F3 here, but you can choose any other button. Add our main scene to Afterload and set a short name to use in the code. Check that our project still works. Next we create nodes for logs, notifications, buttons and data tabs. For logs I will use a rich text label. It has scrolling feature which can be useful for us. Set the size, position, font size and opacity as you like. For notifications I will use a label. Set the font settings and other parameters to your liking. For data tabs, add a tab container, and position, size, font settings and opacity. For tabs we will use a rich text label. We will create tabs from the code, so we need to save the tab scene to a file. Also, we set the flag load as placeholder to hide sample data in runtime. I duplicate a sample tab to check how the tabs look in the editor. For the buttons container, I will use hflow container to keep buttons somewhat distributed. Same thing here, set position, size and opacity. Add a button node and save it to the file. Set the flag load as placeholder as well. Let's check that our project is still running. Attach new scripts to the main scene and our containers. The log container is pretty straightforward. We keep entries in an array, set a line limit and apply a time prefix. Also we have push pretty function to log objects like vectors. The main script keeps a link to our log node and handles the toggle input. Let's push some data from our character code and check the results. And it seems to be working. The notifications implementation is similar to logs, but we add timer and keep the creation time. Update the main script with a link to the notification node. Add a notification push to the character and check the results. For buttons, we create a button scene instance and connect with callback function. Update the main script with a link to the button container node. Add a button to the character and check the results. Here we just change variable value, but you can use it to trigger other functions, animations or change the state. Tabs keep data in dictionary and have a reset option, so you can push data to a single tab from multiple places. Update the main script with a link to the data container node, and push some data from the character. Take note of how you use the third parameter of the push function to clear data on every physics frame. Check the results. This way you can see runtime data without leaving a log or error console. You can iterate on top of that. For example, div caches could probably be done in a better way by creating separate label node with a timer and adding instance of to the container node, like it's done with buttons. Make sure to check the video description for the source code link. Tickle the like button if you found this video useful, subscribe and leave a comment with your questions or ideas for future topics. And aloha!